I was at the proper angle when I shot and the bullet hit the water, it deflected off and went up and started hitting the trees. And I became more interested in that fact, that that bullet would not penetrate that water at that angle, than I was shooting the ducks, because I just couldn't believe that that bullet would not penetrate that water because and it wouldn't make any difference. And I remembered that when I saw that you could move a conductor through a magnetic field at a snail's pace, and lo and behold, this current would take off at the speed of light. I knew the same thing was happening I saw as a boy when I was shooting those ducks on a pond, that there was something moving in the magnetic field already at the speed of light, and that the conductor was simply deflecting it like that water had deflected that bullet. And that told me to look into this very rigorously. And so I started reading everything I could get my hands on. I'd go to the library and study. And for 3 years it bothered me, because I read that you could move a conductor at right angles to a magnetic field and the current would go in one direction. You'd push it up and it'd go in the opposite direction. If you turn the magnet over 180 degrees, everything would reverse as far as the current going down the wire. And if you push the wire down parallel to the lines of force of a magnet, I don't care how vigorously you did it, or how fast you did it, or how much energy you used, as long as you maintained a parallel position, you wouldn't get into a magnetic field at the speed of light, and that it has some kind of mechanical characteristic that caused what was observed when you moved a conductor through a magnetic field. Now, the existing knowledge, they gave you a mathematical observation of that effect, but they didn't tell you why it occurred. Now, I would do what it did. How did that current know which direction to go? Why didn't it give me anything when I went parallel? And I put the blame on myself at that time, because I never had a physics mechanical characteristic of gyroscopes. And when I started reading the mechanical characteristics of a gyroscope, the question that had dogged my mind for 3 years, how did that current know which direction to go? And why was it when you went parallel you'd get nothing? I saw the laws of a gyroscope match that exactly. If you study the laws of a gyroscope, if you take this little gyroscope here, if I can spin it up, now, if you pivot that one direction, it goes one way. You pivot the other way, it goes the other way. If I turn it around 180 degrees, now if I push it up, it goes parallel. It does not pivot, as long as I maintain a parallel position. That's exactly what happens when you move a conductor through a magnetic field. You push down on it, the current goes in one direction. You push up, it goes in the opposite direction. You turn the magnet over 180 degrees, everything will reverse. You push down parallel to the lines of force with the copper wire, and you get nothing. It told me that the energy in a magnetic field was a gyroscopic particle. When the atoms align, the magnetic field will appear, come outside the boundaries of the material, and gives you a running river that you can tap into. Now, you let the atoms disalign. You can do it by hitting the atoms. The magnetic field goes back into the boundaries of the material, and man does not have access to it. Now, what I'm saying that you're doing, by what you saw on these motors, you saw that I was converting mass into energy on a 100% conversion process. There's no pollution to the environment or the human race. Now, the present system of the nuclear reactor is less than 1% efficient. Over 99% of the material is contaminated, and man can't get rid of it. He's dumping it upon nature and upon man at this time. And or either got them in drums, and at this time they're starting to leak. And we have a great danger from that. Now, with this energy, the magnitude of it is such, you can do away with all pollution. It's a known scientific fact that with enough electricity, you can break any compound down to its basic element. That's known, but the cost of energy prior to this time has prohibited man from doing it. So we pollute the earth. If this technology was let loose, as it should be let loose, then all of these things would be a thing of the past. Pollution would be no more. This technology explains many things in science. It explains why magnets attract and repel by the same gyroscopic particles. And Evan Soule, who helped me edit the book, had made drawings of relative to what I had told him, that you can see it in the book, and it shows that the gyroscopic particles act just like gears do when they intersect with each other. When they come into spinning in one direction, if they're spinning in the same direction like this and they're coming across, if they're spinning like this, they're really going in opposite directions, you can see how that they will attract because they merge together. Now, if you have way, then what happens when one is spinning like this and the other one is spinning like this, and they come around and hit, they're going to be where that they repel. And so now they're both going in the same direction. As a result of it, when this one comes around and hits this one, it's going to repel.